So then you moved into, so for some reason though, you felt like to be a one-man video crew was going to be a less difficult task. And did that prove to be true?
Well, the story goes like this.
Mm-hmm.
For the longest time, I tried to compete against the world.
Okay.
So I was in the big music industry worldwide. I was doing the websites on the World Wide Web.
Right.
But trying to win the website of the world, stuff like that. So I'm competing against the world all the time. It becomes exhausting.
Yeah, that is. Yeah.
So one day I went, how about I just compete against the Lehigh Valley?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Suddenly the playing fields became.
Yeah. And I'd be all right. Didn't have to work as hard. You know what I learned? I was wrong. I have to work just as hard.
Really?
Yeah, I'm tired.
What's up, everybody? It's the Poorly Edited Podcast, the show where we put a spotlight on some of the most creative minds we can find, as best a couple of college kids can do.
Not very well.
Not very well, though.
So I was spiking all of the cameras. Just going between all of them.
There's a lot of cameras here today because we have a very special guest here with us.
I'm special.
But I'm Chandler Davis.
I'm Patrick Lilly.
I'm Imras Farrow.
And I'm special!
And that's Craig-Frequent-C-Friebolin.
That's true.
And you've brought a cavalcade of equipment with you here.
Some stuff.
I've never had anyone come here, and I guess if anyone was going to do it, it would have been you. With you're just filming this show for us, essentially.
I'm filming the show. I even brought my own light kit, but I didn't bother setting it up.
Person.
You brought a whole
really never happened.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
You're taking this more seriously than we are.
No.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, do you see obviously you're taking it more seriously just by taking a look around. But this is the Christmas episode that you have stumbled upon, unfortunately, which I don't know. Did we warn you of that ahead of time?
I
did.
I did.
It was a Christmas episode?
Over the top.
Yeah, we said we're going to put you in a Santa costume. There was ideas of Lizzie jumping out of a cake or a giant present of some
And
sort.
now he's just Tiny Tim. Now he just is dressed like Tiny Tim.
Well,
so that's not really.
My leg hurts.
There we go. Wait, which leg?
Just saying. I just want to say I'm glad to be here. I have to tell you, though, I am the kiss of death. Usually after I go on a show, they have one more episode left.
That's so funny you said that.
Yeah, why?
For reasons that we might find out sooner than later. No, but that's awesome. I'll hold you to that.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, at least if anything does happen, I'll be able to say it was because we had Craig on the show.
Right.
Yeah.
I fold whole companies, They
really?
Yeah, they go under.
For example?
Sonic got bought out by Creative Labs.
Okay.
And then I was gone. And what other companies have I been terminated from? Laid off. Never fired.
Yeah.
Never fired.
You're not getting severance, dude.
You guys don't even know what Sonic is. That's not good.
I thought you just said Sonic. I thought
what year did it go under?
Sometime in the 90s, early 2000s. I'm not sure.
We weren't alive then.
Almost not alive for that.
Do you know there's this guy, his name's Kanye West.
Yes.
You heard of him?
Yes, I have.
He still uses an Ensoniq keyboard.
Really?
Yes.
Ooh.
The ASR10. He used it yesterday because there was a post in the Ensoniq forum. Oh, anyway.
But you were on the Ensoniq forum between yesterday and today for a company that went under?
It was a notification.
Right. That you're still getting 20 years later.
Yeah, and it's always Kanye West because he's the only one using it. Yeah.
They laid everybody off except the person running the Ensoniq forums.
That's right.
Everyone else is gone.
And he's paid by Kanye West.
Yeah. Don't mean to say that.
So you have, there's a lot of stuff that we can get into because you're an interesting guy. You have a very storied history behind you, not just in the making videos side of things, but just creative things in general.
What?
Yeah. But most people will probably know you from the Lehigh Valley film scene. You run a company, ubiFire, who does many great things of high quality production value, and
it's all right.
I figured I'd say it for you.
Where does
where
does the name come from? Is that like a mashup?
Yeah.
All right.
Words?
There's an actual story to this.
Okay, cool. This is the first time anyone's heard this story.
There's a guy I know. His name is Nice Jones. You know him as Stephen Walker.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And I would get in these conversations with lots of people, mostly with him on this particular subject, where a client will not approve some graphic or something, and I would say, just put flames on it. Clients love flames and fire. And I've been saying it for decades. And I was like, well, time to name my company. I got to put fire in it so I could put fire on it. And people would be like, that's really cool. And then I needed some other letters. So I went look for prefix and suffix. Right. Ubi, meaning where is the fire? It's at ubiFire.
Oh,
I love
much
that.
better than our name.
There you go.
Or anyone else's that I've heard so far.
What's our name?
Covering your mouth.
But ubiFire, no, that's great. No, for real.
7-letter domain name.
Yeah.
That's not easy to find.
That's amazing. And you're a big,
Skills.
so that would be something that would tickle your
shorter?
fancy if you want. Yeah,
Can we
shorter.
get a shorter URL?
Do you think you get shorter than that? Just fire?
Not for you, like
Was fire taken?
I'm sure it was taken.
Fire.com.
Who has fire.com?
Can someone look up fire.com right now?
And what is it about? They've cornered the market.
That is a good question. No, it's fire.com.
I'm gonna look it up.
So
Drew Barrymore.
doubt. I'm gonna hit the doubt button.
Damn,
So,
none of you have any
but
idea why I said that.
no.
Okay. Look it up. Google it. Okay.
Well, I'm fast. What? It's not even up. It's not up.
Sort
though.
out your payments. No, it is.
Oh, it is.
Go digital and integrate. Oh, it's like a what?
What a waste.
help
It's a
businesses to
nerd
manage payments,
thing
digital
for
accounts.
nerds.
Oh, it's just okay.
Yeah, it's just like a software.
It actually seems
hosting
kind of
thing.
helpful for businesses, but whatever.
Stupid.
Yeah.
No, but so you, interestingly, you came through a time when like the internet was just in its infancy stages. No. I think it's interesting the whole like because domains aren't something that people like younger than us think matters, but like at the time when the internet was first on its it was a big deal, like all these domains and what could come of that,
and you can get some really cool domains.
Yeah.
Do you know? Would you like my email address?
Sure.
I'd love it.
I have many, but one of them is.
What other domains did you manage to cop on the way up?
TheHotTracks.com.
Tracks, that's pretty rad.
Swingfest.com.
Okay.
What else do I own?
Is there a story behind that one? Swingfest?
I believe there is. I own a lot of domains. Musicworkplace.com, brokenladders.com.
Okay.
You know, stuff.
Is Broken Ladders literal? Or is that like
It
figurative?
was for, trying to climb the corporate ladder.
Okay.
But it actually turned into a website dedicated to protesting the Downtown Parking Authority. It's still up, I think.
Whoa.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, they need it. They need a little.
They're scumbags.
Pushback. You
Yeah.
know?
We should.
We should do Bethlehem too, because they're
They're
apparently
worse.
Bethlehem's worse.
Bethlehem's way
They're
worse.
worse. They
Bethlehem's
come
worse.
right out and say, we do this to raise money, not to solve a parking problem,
Yeah.
just to make money.
Yes.
It's hard.
all their
It's
meter
obvious.
maids are like track stars or something. And as soon as that time runs out, they're on it.
They love when you go to city council and complain about Downtown
Who here?
Parking Authority.
You got a parking ticket
I
while
got
we
one.
were doing
I've
Lab
gotten
212
3
stuff?
for Lab 212 work.
And you
I've gotten one, yeah.
and Zach has as well. So
Yeah.
I think
How
there's
long
only
were yours?
3 of
Though?
us
Mine was
that
like
need
10
it.
minutes.
Yeah.
Not
It's
even.
like, it's always
I
like
had one that was 5 minutes.
And
I
it
had
was,
one
like,
that was
pouring
there was a terrible storm and I
fascinating
couldn't
discussion
physically
about
go out to my car.
parking tickets today
And
on
somebody is out there.
edited podcast.
Somebody was literally out there laminating those tickets, like putting them on my window in the rainstorm.
That's awesome. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter if you're stronger than them. They'll still give you the.
Stronger than them.
They'll still give
We
you
gonna
the
wrestle them?
ticket. Yeah, you can't even fight.
If
them for
you
it.
meet them as the ticket or the meter expires, you can fight them for your ticket.
Oh,
going to
and the
wrestle
Lehigh Valley Airport Parking Authority. That's
I
a
got
thing.
no
they're
beef with them.
they're terrible.
No beef.
I have,
I'm
I have
cool
huge
with them.
beef with them. I refuse to pay my tickets with them.
You lose that. Like, I don't think you can win that one.
No, no, I'm
That's
not
how I
paying.
got on the Parking Authority podcast.
It's the poorly edited Parking Authority podcast.
Chris,
guys.
Yeah.
I think everyone would much rather hear about ubiFire. I mean,
ubiFire.
really, honestly, let's be real. So, okay, if you can summarize ubiFire a bit, so people maybe who somehow haven't heard of you yet can understand what you do, what you bring to the table.
Generally, I bring pizza to the table.
Nice.
Not tonight.
ubiFire is a video production company that also does various marketing. Should I be looking at the camera? Or should I be looking at you?
You can do whatever
Just stare
you
right
want.
into my eyes the entire.
ubiFire is a marketing company. We also do TV commercials and video projects for all kinds of people. I'm gonna stare at you guys.
Right.
I don't know what else to elaborate on that.
She got
We
all
do
of it?
digital marketing as well,
Okay.
but that's not really what our forte. That's I shouldn't say it's our forte.
Yeah.
We're really good at that too, but that's not what we promote.
Right.
Yeah.
So, who have you done some high value work for? Because I just want you to say it, though. I don't want to take the words out of your mouth. You've done some pretty cool stuff. ubiFire's been featured on some pretty cool stuff.
We've done things for the March of Dimes.
Yes.
We've done things for giant grocery stores. Not large grocery stores. The actual giant grocery stores.
Yes.
Not the giant
Not
grocery
giant.
They are
Grocery
quite
store.
large, though, in my experience.
Yes.
We
Some.
will be doing some stuff for Lehigh Valley Health Network very soon. We do a lot of things for WFMZ. We do things for WFMZ's clients. We've done things for the Electricians Union. We've done things for, I don't know, a bunch. Daniel Roebuck is
Yes.
another name.
Yeah. So you've done a lot of things, and didn't you work on Masterminds, the movie with Zach Galifianakis?
Masterminds, the movie with Zach Galifianakis and Kristen Wiig
Yeah.
and the Owen guy.
Were you his
meet
understudy?
Wilson?
And
Did you meet him?
no, I didn't meet any of them. I
Oh.
also worked on Tosh.0.
Yes.
And I've worked on the stuff for the NBA
Nice.
and some other crap. I was on an episode of Transformed by Transformers. You should watch it. I need to get the view count up.
Was it a real?
That was a good episode with
Yeah.
Bumblebee,
I
right?
watched
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I learned I don't know how to transform a transformer.
You never had Transformers in your?
I was poor.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm overcompensating now.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I mean, that's what it's all about.
He had a
right?
knockoff toy called
I feel like
Dysmorphers.
I'm getting a cue card.
Uh,
I work for the Misspelled Bennett Automotive Group.
Y'all can't see this, but Ruthie is just writing on the board, giving him notes right now. All right, so you've worked on all of these, really amazing kind of high profile clients and all these different projects. How do you get these projects with like Masterminds and Tosh.0 and things like that aren't here in the Lehigh Valley? How do you go about getting those types of gigs?
I get a company in India to send out spam on my behalf about a print that has a reward for them.
Right.
And then I trick them.
And then executives at those.
Right. I say there's a Nigerian prince that has $10,000 for you.
It's every time, right? Every time, though. Let's
he has
do
a
it.
lot of money.
Yeah. Yeah. My monitor went out.
I'm so
What
sorry.
happened? What happened? We lost connection.
Yeah, you have some tech with you today that rivals.
I have an Insta360. It's a 360 degree cam that has been recording for 14 minutes and 23 seconds.
Why would you waste all of this potential on coming to a show like this? I mean, like,
Because when I'm done, I'm going to spin it around in a circle like an episode of that 70s show.
nice. That's gonna be rad. Well,
But
Craig,
without the drugs.
well, we'll see. But so you obviously love tech. You love gadgets, to speak. But like, where does that? Because I love film and filmmaking and making videos and stuff. But I can't say for sure that I'm necessarily like a gearhead or anything. I don't get that excited.
Is that a way of saying he doesn't know what he's doing?
I don't know what I'm doing. Don't
he
get me
just
wrong.
means he can't afford
Yeah,
to
I
know
can't
what he's doing.
afford all of the toys.
That's
so,
why it's called the poorly edited podcast.
right.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a double entendre.
I see.
He's going to ask you after this if he can come over and play with your toys.
That sounds dirty.
Uh,
That's what she said.
well, No, but so where first of all, where does that when did that start? When did you decide like that's an avenue that you wanted to explore is like
Video
just
stuff?
being excited about the tech side of things. You know what I mean? Like where does that come from?
Well, boy, this is a long story. Long time ago, a friend of mine, DJ, needed a website. I made a website for him. I didn't know how to make websites. I just figured it out. I'm smart. Anyway, so I made this website. And then I got hired. I had a recording studio at the time. And this guy hired me to do some stuff for the recording studio. And then I went to his office. And then I was at his office. And he hired me to do his website stuff. And then his website provider, hosting company, came in and saw what I did. And then they hired me to do website stuff. Website stuff turned into HTML, then it turned into Flash. Flash turned into video. Video turned into this crap. Does that make a little bit of sense? All the meanwhile, I was still doing all the audio stuff too. So audio, video, ubiFire. Here we are. That was a very short version of that.
That was a very short version.
Yeah.
You probably condensed a
I
very
skipped a lot.
long period of work.
Yeah,
there
I
that-
skipped a lot. Yes,
that
yes.
got from point A. But that's what I find interesting about like the more I got to know you, the more I got to know your work, and the more I like snooped on your website that you made for your solo, your music and
Back in the day?
back in the day.
Frequency.
A frequent yeah.
No, it's freakfest.com.
freakfest.com.
And it's in Flash. So if you don't have Flash, don't
I had
bother.
to install Flash again
Yeah,
to
yeah.
look at the web, because I knew, I was like, if this is asking me to install Flash, I have to install Flash.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I
Right.
want to see.
Right.
And it was a blast from the past, though, in the sense of, honestly, when I was looking at your site, that site, I was telling them at the time, I was like, the art of making cool websites has just like
Gone. Yeah. you're making
Everything
it
is
cool.
just boring now. Like, that was such an amazing era
Right.
of website making,
Right.
where it was just anything goes, and you could just make the most insane.
Right. You make spiders come out of the holes
Yes.
and smoke and lights and
Yes.
dragon voices and things open and close and lights and crap. And the
Now it's
first
It's rad.
MP3 full featured MP3 player. And then you won the Website of the Year award.
Yeah, I saw that.
A bunch of others too.
Now it's all Squarespace.
Now it's
Every
just
website is
It's
Squarespace.
just a
Or
blank white
WordPress.
screen.
Or WordPress.
Yeah.
WordPress.
And so, do you feel a bit of, as someone who went from rags to riches in the sense of website expertise, do you look at stuff like WordPress and Squarespace as like, not as good of tools to use to make websites as the old-fashioned getting your hands dirty with some HTML?
Yeah,
And
I
some-
really hate saving months of work. That sucks. I would much rather it take 16 weeks longer. No, I'm good. At WordPress. Yeah.
Well, no, that's encouraging to hear, though. I think
Yeah.
for many people probably needing to make websites or wanting to make websites, that they don't need to do it like that anymore in order to get the
No,
best
don't do it that
possible
way.
results.
Don't do it that way.
Yeah.
No, don't do it that way.
Because these tools are just as good, if not better.
Do you have a
They're fine.
preference between Wix, Working Dog, like WordPress,
Working
Dog Press,
Working Dog
Working
Press,
Dog
like
Press? That's the newest one.
Squarespaces, Anything?
WordPress.
WordPress for sure.
Just use WordPress.
Hands
and
down.
use Elementor in WordPress. It's been wonderful.
Sponsored.
Yeah, you should pay me, Elementor.
Can you
Okay.
go on other people's stuff and shout at people to pay you? Does that work?
What?
As like as a way to pick up more.
Be like, your stuff sucks,
your
pay
stuff
me
sucks,
to fix
pay
it?
me. Yeah.
Especially on someone else's platform, though. Like, you came on our podcast and yelled at them to pay you.
Yeah, and you also filmed it yourself.
Yeah.
Like, you're really
You watched- you
demonstrating the
call-
value.
you called
You really
me-
come up demonstrating the value from the gate,
Yeah, you called me before this show and you said, your show sucks. I've seen it. I'm just going to film the whole entire and produce the entire show.
And he was right.
Yeah.
Lighting. I
right.
brought lights, but then it came in. You got all these lights, and I'm like, and the ceiling's low. So
And the screw.
And the screw.
And the screw.
There was that
The case of
screw.
the missing screw.
Yeah.
The screw. Oh, that's something different though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good job, Pat. That backfired. So, no, but I think that, and so you initially you were focusing on music,
Yes.
and then moved into video and
Yes.
production and stuff like that.
I graduated high school. I started a band. 6 months later, we had a record deal.
Wow.
Yeah. And we made a 12-inch single. And while they were putting out the 12-inch single, the record company went bankrupt.
Nice.
Then, I don't know, seems like it was like 3 or 4 years ago, maybe less.
Mm-hmm.
I decided, long story, but I was selling some stuff on eBay, and eBay was taking the giant cut, and I wanted to sell something else to make up for the giant cut. Someone said, why don't you sell your 12 inches? So I said, okay. And I put them online on eBay for $32 a piece. Thriller goes for $5. I thought a lot of my record.
Yeah.
Right? I figured if someone's going to buy it, it must be a fan. I didn't know I had fans. Put 15 copies online, went away for 3 hours, came back. They were all sold throughout the world. I didn't know I was a rock star till like 3 or 4 years ago.
That's pretty rad.
That's a true
What was the name of
story.
your band?
XL. pronounced Excel. Or when we would go on stage and concert promoters would go, coming up next, extra large. Oh.
Why would they make
horrible.
that leap?
Yeah, that's a big leap.
Because it was spelled XL, but it was pronounced Excel.
Right.
See?
Like the spreadsheet program.
Yeah.
Was that what it was?
It was pronounced that way, but it was spelled XL. I don't think he's getting it.
He doesn't get much.
All right.
It's okay.
No, but that's fascinating. So you were a rock star, and then
And then I went to continue to be a rock star, and I
Right.
worked with Tribe Called Quest, Naughty by Nature, St. Stephen Music Factory, Chubb Rock, Tara Kemp, Mary Wilson from the Supremes, and a whole bunch of other people.
Wait,
Mary
sorry.
Wilson
You
from the
say
Supremes.
The Supremes.
Yeah. She's on Dancing with the Stars right now. It was
Yes.
really weird to see her on there. Like, hey, there's Mary. How you doing?
So you guys were friends,
Yeah.
like working
Actually,
relationship.
she's a fascinating lady. One of the nicest people you'll ever meet. And when I first met her, I had a friend of mine with me, and I told him, be cool. Guess where the story's going?
He was not cool.
He walks up to Mary Wilson, shakes her hand, and he falls on his knees and goes, I can't wait to tell my mom! Right? So, weird story, right? Then we do all our stuff in the studio with Mary Wilson for a while. Months go by, and all of a sudden his mother gets a care package from Mary Wilson. We have no idea how she found his mother, how she knew any of this. What? Then she had a record release party, and I swear it was like 8 months later, 9 months later. Woman meets millions of people. I walked in, she's like, how you doing, Craig? I'm like, how do you remember my name? Yeah, she's one of the nicest people ever.
Wow.
Actually, you know who the nicest person ever was? Shock G, a.k.a. Humpty Hump.
Oh, really?
What a cool dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was very nice. Worked with him in the studio up in Saylorsburg.
Really?
The Menagerie.
Really?
Yeah. He let a cat in the studio, and the owner flipped out.
That's fat. I could like stop and inquire about any
Yeah.
one facet of everything you just said, but we would be here all day.
Have you ever been in Lehigh?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I was in that
Really?
the hospital up there. It's got a
Oh,
weird
I'm
name.
so sorry.
Like
Not
visiting
hunting.
or-
Not
I had-
not in Hooten.
Not hunting. I had surgery there. I almost died.
was in
They almost
the-
killed me.
I was in the insane part.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
the asylum.
Yeah.
I saw you walking around there.
Yeah.
I was in the ICU.
Yeah. I was in the ICECREAM. That was
I've
ice
also
cream.
been up
I don't
there,
know if
I
I
was
spelled
gonna
it correctly. I was just saying it too fast.
I can spell.
Okay, so there's some stuff.
Yeah, there's a few. No, so I mean, you got to work with a lot of really amazing people in music, doing that. I mean, what happened to where you decided you wanted to move away from doing music as your main passion? And
Well,
move
let me
into
tell you
video
this
making?
story. So, it's because of Tupac.
Really,
It really is.
I'm excited.
Okay. So, I was working with the Digital Underground. Now, the Digital Underground consisted of many groups. People just think it's the Humpty Dance group. No, it was Tupac Shakur, the Digital Underground, a group called No Face, and some others. No Face was two guys, and Ed Lover from Yo MTV Raps. You remember him? You have no idea who I'm talking about, do you? Anyway, he was in the group. I was working with Mark Skeet. Mark Skeet went by the name Mark Sex. I think it's the LA Times attributes Mark Skeet, a.k.a. Mark Sex, of being the reason that rap music now calls women bitches and hoes. And we were working with another guy named Groovy. So the three of us were doing all this stuff, working with all these artists. And I also had my studio in downtown Allentown. And I had been doing this for a long time, dumping tons of money into it. There's not a lot of money in the music business until you make a lot of money in the music business. Right. So, you know, it's a struggle. Anyway, so Tupac died. Mm-hmm. Mark went to the funeral in California. Mm-hmm. I stayed behind because I still had to have a day job on top of all this.
Yeah.
While he was at the funeral, everybody and their mother went to the funeral. So it turned into a big networking event. They worked out a bunch of deals, like we're going to go to this studio and that studio on this day. So them going for a week turned into them going for a month, then 2 months, 3 months. And I was back here working on music with people who just were lazy. And I was done. I was done. And then the building that we were in got condemned because it cracked in the side of the wall. And then I quit.
Damn.
And then Lynette Kingsley said, oh, I got to go to a wedding. I forgot about our session today. I'll be back in a few hours. And then never came back. And I'm like, I'm done! Damn you, Lynette Kingsley, wherever you are.
What's the time frame on that? What year was that?
Wow.
From 1988 to 1990 something, late 90s. Maybe early 2000s. There you go. And then it quit for like 10 or 15 years. So then in 2010,
There's some overlap.
in 2010, I decided to get back into it, and then started working with people all over the world through internet technology. We were one of the first internet bands. Called ourselves the Dead Clowns. Do you want to know why? Let's loop it back around because I already own the domain name. I saw Dead Clowns was available. I'm like, I can use that for something. Became the band name. Then we did songs.
Wait, correct me if I'm wrong, but domain names aren't that expensive, are they?
At
Depends
the
on which one
time,
you
they
want.
definitely weren't. They're more
in
expensive
2010?
now than they. Oh, in 2010.
2010 was like $14.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you could have come up with a different name, though.
Yeah.
Theoretically.
Yeah.
But
we
he
had-
already-
what happened is we had already made a song.
Right.
And then we decided we're going to be a band, and we were like, "What should we name it?" And nobody had any ideas off the cuff. And I'm like, "Well, I own this. We could just there you go,
Easy.
right?"
Okay.
And we didn't know we were going to be a band.
Right.
It was just, we made a song. Who should we put it out as? You know.
That makes sense.
I listened to a lot of the music.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Fan
We
of the Dead
procured a bit of those tracks. I think that you deliberately sprinkled in places we would find them. On
Yes,
the
'cause
project that we were working on.
It's funny.
Yeah, it is very funny. No, but you got bars. I'm not gonna lie. I really like the song. The one song I heard you rapping on.
I didn't write that song.
I know you didn't write it, but
Someone
I mean,
else
your
wrote that
flow
song.
was very good.
Someone else wrote
your
the song
delivery was
in the
very good.
80s, and then I redid it. I'll pause here while we play a part of it over here.
Time that we can't be true. A diamond could not cut me from you. Forever, never. Could they
Nope! So then I got back into music, and eventually we did stuff for the NBA again.
As you do.
Linkin Park,
Okay,
and
wait.
John Legend.
What do you mean?
Let's play that song now.
Which one is
Is that copywritten?
No, I wrote it. It's copywritten, but you can play it.
What song
That's
is
going
it?
to be a whole thing.
Well, they didn't put it on the album.
Oh, okay.
Linkin Park didn't?
Yeah, it's a long story. It's a short story. I'll make it short. Here's the
I
short
I'm a
version.
huge fan of the
Here's the short version. Linkin Park had a contest, and I entered the contest with a guy from Brazil. We made a remix of one of their songs. It did very well. Then Linkin Park decided they were going to have another contest and contacted us directly to write a song.
Oh.
Because they thought we'd win. But you know what they left out? We're going to make a totally different kind of album this time, so don't make it sound like Linkin Park. We
So
made
what
it sound
album was that going
just like
into?
the crappy one, the one that nobody listened to. What one was that?
Minutes to Midnight?
I believe that. No, that was their second
I'm trying to
album.
think of the... No.
What was their third or fourth album? The one the DJ guy had a lot to do with. It was like more techno-y-ish.
Dude, I don't remember.
Aoki, John.
Steve Aoki.
Steve Aoki.
Oh, you mean like the one after Minutes to Midnight?
Yeah. Didn't that,
Oh,
It's probably telling if we can't.
Can't listen.
that one's
name
very
collectively.
that one's very bad.
Yeah, it's
Yes,
very bad.
it's very
So it
bad.
was going to be for that album, but they went in
Yeah.
different directions. So they didn't use
So
our
this was
wonderful song.
This was like not
For sometime between 2010 and now.
Yeah,
that would be
yeah. That was
9
like-
years.
20. I thought it was around 2010, 2012.
No, it wasn't. It was much later than that, but okay. It was like,
that album.
yeah, I think that was like 2014.
Oh, I don't know.
Don't test me.
It was just a bad album. Look it up, please.
All right.
Now I'm.
No,
I
I'm gonna
can't
look up-
remember for the life of me. Even it's.
I'm going to look up the song that we did, and when we posted that,
Is it like 1,000 Suns? Was that the album, or is it the one?
that
before?
might be.
Man, that.
This podcast is sponsored by Relevant, a location-based mobile network personalized by your interests. Customize your news feed to consolidate all the information you care about all in one place to quickly and easily find what's relevant to you. Find out what's going on in your local area and reach your community from the palm of your hand. Relevant is available on iOS and coming soon to Android. Be the first to know with Relevant.
So you were remixing their songs? Or you were making?
Well, the first
This
one
one was a new song.
This was
Okay.
a new song, and that was okay. Maybe you're right. 2013 is when we put it online, so that was after Didn't go anywhere. It's this song right here. It's on YouTube.
Nice.
You can look it up.
Oh, so you made like a hybrid theory-esque Linkin Park song, but it was really supposed to be a
Crap song.
not good new Linkin
A piece
Park
of shit. Oh, don't curse on the podcast.
So they thought
I can't believe I'm cursing on the podcast.
So they basically thought the song was too good and they needed something of
Yeah.
lesser quality
You know
for
what's
their
funny?
next album.
You know what's funny? The Linkin Park users group, because I'm in a lot of users group.
Yeah.
They loved it.
I bet they did. After, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
That's a fascinating story, though.
Yeah,
So, but
that's what I do.
so essentially, you know, you were
How
very
microphones work.
And make sure
It's
you
gonna
rub,
sound
rub your
awesome.
chin on it so the
yeah.
hairs start
Get like
going.
the hairs. Oh yeah. Oh dude, I can
Lucy's
see
dying
the
right now.
peaks from here. That's
looks
awesome.
good.
Waveforms just say ow.
Yeah.
I don't understand how audio works. I want to pretend I'm.
Neither do we.
I want to pretend. Let's pretend I just won my Grammy, right?
Okay.
And explain this to me.
That's your
All
Grammy.
right. Wait. Who can I be? Name an artist. Name somebody really big and famous.
Taylor
Beyonce.
Swift.
I'm Taylor Swift. Okay. I think I think of more Taylor Swift.
I think so.
So I'm Taylor Swift, and I go up and I get my Grammy, right? And then I proceed to use a micro. Like I've made tons of albums and recorded so much stuff, but for some reason, when I win an award, apparently my award needs to be facing this way. When I win an award, I don't understand how microphones work, and I go like this on the. Hello, I'd like to thank my mom because I don't know how microphones work. I must be this close to the microphone. I'm Taylor Swift. God dang, Julie!
Yeah, that joke is coming.
Sorry, go ahead. What were you saying?
No, that was better.
Okay.
No, but so you had you know, quite the genesis in the music
I never worked with
biz.
Genesis. No,
Okay.
I don't know if I'll call
For
it.
your time.
This
Let's go with that.
And essentially a matter of circumstance kind of pushed you in a different direction. So then you moved into, so for some reason though, you felt like to be a one-man video crew was going to be a less difficult task. And did that prove to be true?
Well, the story goes like this.
Mhm.
For the longest time, I tried to compete against the world.
Okay.
So I was in the big music industry worldwide. I was doing the websites on the World Wide Web.
Right.
But trying to win the website of the world, you know, stuff like that. So I'm competing against the world all the time. It becomes exhausting.
Yeah, that is, yeah.
So one day I went, how about I just compete against the Lehigh Valley? And then-
Yeah. Suddenly the playing fields became
yeah.
Well,
And I'd be all
measured.
right. Didn't have to work as hard. You know what I learned? I was wrong. I have to work just as hard.
really.
Yeah, I'm tired.
But are you excited still to make videos? Do you miss making music more full time? Do you still have time to make music? Do
No,
you
I
still
don't have time to make music because, oh my God, it takes so long. People don't know how long it takes to make a song. Well, some
Yeah,
people
for
make
sure.
songs in no time.
Yes.
Yeah. But they all sound the same. It's kind of a thing.
Yeah.
If you meet somebody who can make a song in 5 minutes, it's because he's made this song 100 times.
Yeah.
I know these 4 chords that sound pretty good together. Let's just
Right.
do those in an order and then
Well, okay, so
throw some vocals. Yeah, we're there.
Yeah. I'm T-Pain. Anyway.
Oh, that's an
That means
argument.
we skip the auto tune.
That's an argument to be had, but sure.
Apparently I'm not T-Pain. I concede that argument.
Well fought.
Well, I mean, if it was a shot at T-Pain.
No.
I thought that's what you were.
He's fine. He's never
fine.
said anything about my mother or anything. So I don't have time to do music because I used to run this studio and I used to have to and install the software and it's such a big hassle. And I got my new computer at a point where computers went from 32 to 64 bit.
Yeah.
Well, not right then, but the
Yeah,
audio
yeah, yeah.
software wasn't catching up. So half of it is in 32 and half of it's in 64.
Oh, that's terrible.
And I don't want to deal with reinstalling it all and correcting it, so I don't really do the music stuff because it's just I don't have time. If you had a studio and had me come over, I would love that. If I had time to do that, either.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't really do music anymore.
So
occasionally.
Video's the primary love.
Yeah, but even video, I don't even do that much video. When you
Really?
really think about it, I'm on the phone. I do marketing.
Okay.
That's what I really do for a very long time. I do
What kind of marketing do you do?
All kind. I do media buys. So if you need a billboard or some radio or some TV, when I drive in the car, all I hear are commercials that I've written or placed. As a matter of fact, yesterday you're driving and it was just one right after the other. I'm like, I own this station. Turkey Hill. So there's been some iteration of ubiFire for a very, very long time.
I see what you're saying. So it's been almost like a work in progress, a kind of evolution of.
Well, because
idea.
gear is expensive. You buy gear, you use it till it
Yeah.
becomes obsolete, and then you go, I don't want to buy more gear.
Mm-hmm.
It becomes too much of an investment. But now I'm buying it and selling it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, keeping it moving.
You buy a lot of gear.
Do I?
You buy so much so that one of the cameras we're currently filming on is
You'll
what?
know which one.
You bought this.
You'll know which one.
Like this past month it came.
CX350.
Get that.
What did it came? It came on like December 2nd, and that was like a couple. That was a couple grand. You bought like a $7,000 jib last month for a Hallmark.
40-foot crane.
I'm sorry, a 40-foot crane.
Crane jib.
It's a crane jib, which is a
For the
beefy-
Hallmark
it's a
shoot
pretty
you were
beefy
on.
jib.
Yes. With a motorized head.
Really? It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
How much would you say per year you spend on tech? Is it just increasing, or do you have a cap? Do you cap yourself, or do you not really budget it?
Basically, the cap is when I don't have any more money. So no.
Do you have like a
Credit card? Yes.
no?
Craig, how often do you do your taxes?
Yeah, like
Wow.
what are these questions? So, do you
Look at me looking at my lovely assistant because we have a big long thing we're going through right now with this.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Don't even get me started. QuickBooks.
business.
Hi. Do you know how to use QuickBooks? Because I don't. I'm learning it. It's a pain in the ass. Okay.
So do you have like
Don't curse on the podcast.
I'm not.
Chan, they're being really unprofessional.
Do you have a criteria that you kind of have to measure yourself to when it comes to buying new tech, where you're like, I really want that, but do I really need it? Do you have like one of those? Do you love it? Do you?
Well, if
need
you're
it?
flipping
Do
it,
you
you
have,
can
you
buy
know what I mean?
whatever.
Like when you're going to buy a new thing.
See, there's tech that gets you more clients, right?
Okay.
They don't even need it, but they
don't
think
need it.
it's cool, right? Because that camera right there. Now, I brought that camera out without its big rig, right?
Yes.
When it's in the rig, it looks really cool.
Yeah.
Do you know how much I need that rig? Not really at all. No. But clients love to see that big rig. So I put it in the big rig, you know. But I don't need that. 40-foot crane. People love that I own a 40-foot crane. Most people don't need a 40-foot crane. I own a cable cam. Well, I really did think we were going to get more gigs with the cable cam. Jury's out on whether that's going to happen.
Yeah.
But I own a small cable cam. It's in that backpack.
You brought
Yeah.
it?
That's crazy.
Yeah, I was going to set it up and have the cable cam go through here.
That would've
but
been
I couldn't
awesome.
see any place to hook it up.
Oh, that's a shame.
You know.
Can we start hooking that up now? Just for the
Sure.
For the ending.
So you have the more
just hold you
client. So you have the stuff that gets clients, and then you have stuff that I would
That
imagine
actually
just for
use.
you that you actually
Yeah.
use.
Yeah. But I mean, the crane's cool. And I'll planning on renting the crane.
Yeah.
I have to make a demo for the crane, and I didn't want to do that in the middle of winter. It's cold out.
So you rent your equipment. So I've been to your house. There's so much of it. There's rooms and rooms and rooms and rooms of it. And you don't use all of that.
Well, I use all of it. Not every day. I've used. I don't buy it just to have it sitting there.
Right.
Well, I think the thing that you said about clients like to see it is interesting, because you're essentially saying, I mean, for lack of better terms, you're almost like you're just putting it on. You're just putting it on for the clients.
Sometimes.
You know what I mean?
Here's a good example. I used to work with a guy, and I used to tell him all the time. We buy cases, not just to protect the gear, but because clients see you come in with a bunch of cases.
Yeah.
And they're professional. Yeah. Then there's this one guy I know who puts all his gear in one big long case. It's all busted up. Hi, Lois.
That's getting cut.
Okay.
I don't know. We'll see.
Probably.
No, probably. We'll see. He was just on.
We'll see what future Craig says about that one.
Future Craig might have something to say.
Lewis, we love you.
Josh was
just handed a screwdriver.
okay.
Every time I'm talking to you on the phone, Lewis calls you, or you are
Yes.
with Lewis every single time.
calls
It's like
today.
he can sense that we're talking.
Craig's just interested in what's
What's
going on.
Josh doing?
Back
Right.
in
Is that a flathead?
That's how you put the plate on. What did
Yeah.
you? Oh, well,
Who set that camera up? Let's get him in here.
I like when the camera
The dogs.
corner.
Craig, if you could just say in maybe a short burst of anger, how much? Because I've never had anyone come to this show with their own equipment because they were so sure we were going to mess it up that bad, and then also could unequivocally like explain why it's so bad, like while we're filming.
No, I didn't bring the equipment because it's bad.
No.
I brought the equipment because it's different. See, this is 360
No, but Craig,
degrees.
you don't have to say that just because we're filming now. It's bad.
It's lit poorly.
Okay.
And Josh
poorly
makes
lit
the camera
podcast?
flip up to the ceiling.
Yeah,
you
well,
know, stuff like that.
You
use two cameras and he pans around like a lunatic, like that.
He's it's like
Lizzie's over there falling asleep. Wake up!
Man, Zach's gonna have to work on this episode a
Yeah,
lot.
Zach's probably gonna be upset about the audio
Zach's gonna
later.
hate this episode.
Is that?
Let's see. Keep doing it. It's updating.
Zach, can you
I think
hear
it's
this?
loud. Yeah.
Look, Josh is a bit of he's an auteur when it comes with the camera. You know, like when it comes to filming.
You can't
the,
call him that.
Well,
Look up the word.
How do you spell that?
I don't know.
How do you spell
Oh,
that?
good. We're all on
Chandler?
the same page. We don't know that vocabulary word. Let's learn a word today.
Who wrote this?
Is it auger?
This episode of the Poorly
Edited
Edited Podcast is brought to you by the word auteur.
That's what you are, Chris. Craig.
Chris is my brother.
Really? You have a brother?
I have a twin.
Dude, nice
Really?
guess.
I really
right.
do.
I knew that.
His
You did
birthday's the
research.
same day as mine.
Really?
Yeah,
So you
we're
got-
twins. That's how it
That
works.
makes sense. Are you identical or
No, we're fraternal.
The
He
other
looks
one.
more like you.
No, they were born on different days.
is that weird for you? Like right now, is this weird for you?
That I have a twin? I've had him my whole life.
Looking at Chandler, do you see a brother? Do you see a twin B brother in him?
No.
Are you twin A or twin B?
Is that a
First,
thing?
that's not how they
What does that
go.
mean?
It's not like a twin A and a twin B.
Yeah, that's exactly
takes
how it
precedence
goes.
over-
There's twin A, which is the healthy twin, and then there's twin
No,
B.
that's not a thing.
No, it's not a thing. You're making up a thing.
I'm not making up a thing. It's a
First,
real
I thought
thing.
you were talking about first or second. Well, I'm definitely twin
I
A.
grew up in a maternity ward. I just never
You
left.
grew
My
up in a
parents abandoned me. I
maternity
never
Didn't we
left
all?
the maternity
Let's
ward.
be honest.
So I would just grow up, and there would be twins there, and they'd call them twin A and twin B, or baby A and
Just
baby
be
B.
Be twins
They would
everywhere.
just make wild stereotypical accusations
There's
about
two of
these
them.
twins.
Everywhere I looked, there's just two people that look the same.
Craig, when are you gonna crush that iced tea? I've been waiting for it, and you've only taken a few sips.
I'm talking a lot.
I just thought that you'd
Pause.
just be crushing that half.
Come up
gallon
with a
of iced
long
tea.
Should we just have silence for a
Craig,
while?
what is your favorite? Well, actually, this is a 2-question thing. What was, if you could say, what was like the movie that made you interested in wanting to make videos and stuff like that? And
And then
entertainment?
favorite Christmas
And then what's
movie,
your
'cause
favorite
this is the
Christmas
Christmas
movie? 'Cause it's the
episode that we
Christmas-
haven't referenced
We have
since the beginning.
Christmas hats on and everything.
No movie has made me want to do this.
Oh, really?
Really?
Did
No.
money just make you want to do it?
You don't care about money.
Yes, I do.
You
I'm not greedy.
You seem
Right.
to not
But-
care about being really rich.
Right.
Not like a Scrooge type.
You
it's
care
like a
about your
Christmas
money,
joke
but
about the
not
Christmas
about being rich or greedy or.
Right. Money doesn't buy happiness. Wait, how does the expression go? But
I
the lack of
disagree
it
with that.
does. Wait.
That makes
sense. None of it.
What you're saying makes sense.
Yes.
No,
No,
but
that's what it is.
basically,
That's a
being
debate.
broke sucks.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
I don't need to be a zillionaire, but if I was, I'd have really cool stuff. But if you don't have any money, that sucks. You know.
I know.
I know you know. I see your shirt.
So then, what was the? Oh. So then, what's your favorite Christmas movie? Then?
Die Hard, because it's a Christmas movie.
Yo, dude, that's such a maverick punk answer. Like for real, punk in a good way, like punk rock.
I'm
you
punk
know what I mean?
rock.
Yeah, it's such a
When is
punk
punk?
rock Christmas
Craig,
movie.
Craig-Frequent-C-Friebolin
I feel
is
like an
punk
apostrophe
rock.
American.
Very punk rock.
He's very punk rock.
I'm slouched. I'm an apostrophe American.
Oh, I
Slouch
see what
check.
you're saying. That's a slouch.
Shut up. All right, let's all work on our posture.
So then, what did make you want to get into making videos?
Flash. We already went over this. I was doing
So
Flash.
just Flash?
And then Flash started using video. So
Right.
now I need to do video stuff.
You don't.
And then he saw
need-
Die Hard.
You
And
didn't
it's-
need to
No.
start doing videos in this capacity.
To remain competitive, I had to incorporate video into my Flash.
And
Would
that
you-
but then that became, it seemingly became.
Then you just had to.
such
That's just a thing you had to do.
Major.
Would you call
Yeah.
yourself a very competitive person? In this industry in the Lehigh Valley, would you call yourself,
you
or
wanna
in the
arm
industry in general? What?
Doing arm wrestle?
Do you want to win?
Chandler, can you arm wrestle?
Yeah.
No.
Chandler's been working out.
I don't
Can we get a
wanna-
test of strength?
No.
Yes.
You are competitive.
Yeah.
You're a competitive person.
Are you competitive
Yeah.
with yourself or with other companies or with like what would you say you're
Yes.
Both.
all of it?
Yes. Yes.
I respect that.
I don't, because it's a problem. Because see, here's the
It's
thing.
a lot of
There's
work.
not-
It's exhausting.
There's
right?
not enough time to
Yeah.
be competitive. You have to get stuff done. Clients want stuff. They want it their way. I'm going to shoot a commercial soon. I can't name names. It's going to be horrible. But
Yeah.
it was their idea, and that's what they wanted. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm not going to be proud of it, but I'm going to do it.
So that one's, you don't think that one's going on the reel? That one's just one that's going to.
Yeah. There's lots of stuff that doesn't go on the reel.
For that reason, because it wasn't your.
Because the client comes up with an
Yeah.
idea.
I'm
isn't-
curious.
And sometimes,
Right.
stock stuff works.
Yeah.
A bland, boring commercial,
Yeah.
it works. It gets customers to call. And so we do, that's what they want. That's what we do. It's not exciting. It's not like you see it on the demo reel and you're like, oh, that was cool.
Yeah.
No, it was just like everything else.
How do you deal with that when you're in, especially when
I-
you're in this
I go
industry?
into the fetal position.
You go and you rock back and forth
Yes.
until you finally accept the
Yes.
inevitability.
Yes.
When you have a client and you are as creative as a guy as you are, because you're very creative, and you have a client that just wants something so completely different, or you just know it's going to be bad. How do you deal with that? Do you push them on your own ideas? Do you listen to what they have to say and
attempt
do whatever
to
they
make
want?
suggestions, but if they want what they want, they're paying for it.
Yeah.
You know.
So you won't turn down a gig if you don't like
Well,
it.
Have you ever
I
turned down?
sound like a hooker there. I try to steer them the right way. Let's put it that way. You know, I give good advice. If you don't follow it, whatever, or the best advice I can give.
Yeah.
And sometimes, people just don't want to pay for it. Sometimes the good idea is expensive.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
So can't fault them for, being broke.
Right.
It's a
No,
nice shirt.
we definitely cannot.
So you say that you're competitive, and it seems that you're also very competitive with yourself. You're always trying to learn new things and offer some type of new service, and you do many things quite well. So how did you learn to do all these? Did you have a formal education? Did you go back to school? Do you take classes? How do you train yourself and constantly renew your skills with new tech and new services that you offer?
Necessity. Everything I've learned is through necessity. No, I never went to college. I barely made it through high school.
Nice.
But then I ended up teaching at the Allentown Business School. I'm an educator. I mold young minds. And guess what I taught?
What?
Flash!
Yeah, I figured,
And
dude.
Photoshop and HTML.
That's pretty rad.
Yeah.
So it's just self-taught.
Yeah.
Are there any things that you use specifically to teach you, like
Resources, websites.
Yeah,
like
resources.
forums,
Oh, just whatever. Just whatever I
Stack
find.
Overflow.
Anything.
Do you know what I can't learn? 3D.
Yeah. 3D's hard.
In deep. I can learn, and I have some generic 3D experience, but to do real hardcore 3D, man, I ain't got that kind of time.
no?
Yeah.
I've tried. I made a cool fireball once, though.
I saw that in your reel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's in your reel. It's good.
Yeah.
Did you make the jet too? Did you
Yeah.
model that?
I mean, I know it's basic
Yeah.
stuff,
Yeah.
but to do like photorealistic crap,
That's tough. Yeah.
I don't have that kind of time.
You know,
I
like
wish I did.
Photorealistic, like where they had to remove Henry Cavill's mustache in the end of Justice League.
Why would you watch Justice League?
I didn't.
Is that how you pronounce his name?
I thought it was Henry Cavill.
I thought it was
It's Cavill.
too.
Listen, I wasn't.
That's getting cut.
I wasn't. Yeah, it's getting cut. I wasn't expecting to get grilled on his last name. You know, called Craig Chris earlier. You know what I'm
You
saying?
kind of got right though.
Yeah,
It was closer than we
No,
thought.
I
it
knew
was.
that. I knew
Right.
you had that.
Yeah.
You had a brother named Chris.
What did we skip? What do you got? These questions seem very disorganized. What do you got?
That's because my phone's been off this whole time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just noticed.
Kangaroos can't jump backwards. So if you're ever
I
getting
too
your ass,
love Daniel Tosh.
don't sell me out on where I'm getting my material. That is where I got that.
Now I can see how the overlap happened where, you did something for a show.
Actually, I did something for a show because I said I was going to, and I did.
That's a good tip.
I literally turned to my daughter and said, "I'm going to do this," and then I went and did it, and then it was done. And
How did you do that?
I went
Did
like
it.
this. I turned. And said, oh, not that part. It's not that interesting. Go on.
Okay.
What you got? What you got?
No, I find your
So when I was 9,
okay, sure.
I broke the world's record for a game called Laser Blast on Atari.
That's a very funny
I took
name.
a Polaroid picture of me with my information next to the TV screen and sent it to Atari, and they submitted it for the Guinness Book.
Mm-hmm.
And in return, I got a patch.
Yo.
Nice.
And I'm in the Guinness Book of World Records for that. Fun fact.
that-
When I was young, I used to play every sport. I was a pitcher in baseball for many years. And I pitched several no-hitters and was advanced up the league rather fast. These are my accomplishments. I flipped a kid and almost broke his back at soccer.
Of those three, which one are you most proud of?
The soccer one. That was crazy. We both went for the ball at the same time. Here's the ball. Here's the ball. There's our feet. And we went. But I kicked a little harder, and he flipped up over in the air and landed on his back. And why does a young kid have a bad back, but apparently had a bad back?
Ooh.
These kids today are soft. We tried to kill people back when I was young. Now he's dead.
I'd say the better man won.
Yeah, for sure. Better.
Well, we
better
don't
him
know
than
what
you,
he would
right?
have become.
Yeah. He was soft.
Survival to
You think the world record owner of Laser Blast is going to lose to a kid?
Yeah.
That's right. I'd
You
lose
had a
it.
title to defend.
I'm not losing to him. Then what happened? In high school, I had advanced placement art.
Really?
My senior year of high school, there were 7 periods, 7 classes a day, and 6 of mine were art, and I was allowed to do whatever I wanted.
How? What? How did
I
that
know.
happen?
I know.
What school did you go to?
Dyruff.
Dyruff.
High School in
Is that how you
Allentown,
pronounce
Pennsylvania.
That's
No,
Dyruff.
it's
Yeah,
Dyruff.
you were throwing me for a
It's
loop.
Dyruff. I
So
didn't.
you grew up here in Lehigh Valley.
I did
Born
grow
and
up here,
raised.
Wow.
and I didn't follow my.
What a point to get to at the end of the podcast.
Dude.
What? Where have you
Where
been?
did you come from, dude?
I didn't put that together. I thought he
So you are from the Lehigh.
I am.
you work in the Lehigh Valley.
Wow.
Oh my god, dude.
Wow.
Craig, if you could sum up your experience in the Portland, so this, because I think something we're doing soon is we're kind of putting together a bit of a reel for the show. So if you could say something totally disparaging and awful about your experience and your time, unless you had a good time, which I highly doubt, if you could just say, maybe look at that camera and just say some. Oh, you want to that one? You can just think and marinate in that for a second, and just think about. I mean, just really harm the already tarnished reputation that we have.
Your mom. I don't know why that one was really funny to me.
Well, thanks for coming on, Craig.
Craig, thank
You're
you
welcome.
so much
You're welcome.
for gracing us with your amazing industry insight and your wealth of knowledge that you've gathered through your adventures in the many creative fields that you have worked in.
You're welcome. I'll never get this hour back.
Guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for watching and listening to this Christmas. This Christmas episode of the Poorly Edited Podcast. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Episode 99, and hopefully one of the last soon to come. Craig, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Drop the mic. Hell yeah, dude.
It's not mine.
Hang the button.
Check it out, girl. You're cynical, but my life is at a pinnacle. You and me were the same or identical, you know it, but you still live in denial. Why must I be questioned? Why is there a trial? Every time I say I'm true, I could talk till I'm blue, but that would not convince you. The things that I say, the letters are right. The times that I stay awake at night, it's like me and you, the perfect relation, like two stars in the same constellation, girl. You mean the world to me. The sun, the stars, the whole galaxy. 360 degrees I revolve around you. Do you really think I forget when I found you? That was the first day of life as I know it. Beautiful thing like yourself, why blow it? I'll be at your side to the very end. Always remain as more than friends. Never would I do anything that would hurt you. I'd never desert you. Your love is my virtue. For your caress and tenderness, dressed to impress. I do my best to hold you in